Let me talk to you. And of course, that is a catchphrase by the man that many fans, most fans, were expecting to walk out of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view with the oh-so-prized briefcase that guarantees whoever is holding it a world championship, or a modified term, a championship match at any place, any time of his choosing. Every single wrestling fan, WWE fan watching the pay-per-view, watching SmackDown, watching Raw on a weekly basis wanted L.A. Knight, to walk out as Mr. Money in the Bank. And as we saw this past Saturday afternoon in London, England, that just wasn't the case. Because the man who ultimately came out with the briefcase was the Punisher of the Judgment Day himself, Damien Priest. And we could talk about who deserved it more, who deserved it less. Why weren't they pushing L.A. Knight? Why didn't they choose to give him the briefcase? But the fact of the matter is, WWE had three great options as to who might walk out with the briefcase. And we talked about it last week when we were ranking the possibilities of each competitor's walking out as Mr. Money in the Bank. And we had Logan Paul, who's a megastar on social media, very much well known. It would have done great numbers, great fan and social interaction if he had been carrying the briefcase around for the next few weeks, next few months, for the entire year. I don't know. It would have been a fantastic decision on that point alone. L.A. Knight, the man has gotten over in the past 6 months that he had London at his fingertips on SmackDown and at Money in the Bank. That would have been a fantastic decision as well. And then you had Damien Priest, the man who ultimately won the briefcase and became Mr. Money in the Bank. And if you ask me, I don't think WWE made the wrong decision. Because as we saw later on in the show, during the World Heavyweight Championship match, even though Damien Priest didn't cash in, he did tease a cash in. Which leads us into the next few weeks, next few months, maybe, possibly into SummerSlam, possibly past SummerSlam. Seth freaking Rollins, the World's Heavyweight Champion, the face of Monday Night Raw, is going to have to deal with the Judgment Day from all angles. Because the match that is now being rumored to be the world title match at the biggest show of the summer, a contender which, by the way, I don't agree with, but again, Seth freaking Rollins has this gimmick going on that he's a fighting champion. So if Dominic Mysterio challenges Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam, I'm pretty sure Mr. Rollins is going to take that challenge, and we're going to get Rollins versus Dom 2 at SummerSlam once again, this time for the World Championship. And Rollins already took care of Finn Balor, but he will still have Damien Priest lurking in the background, which adds to the main event tier, the main event storytelling on Monday nights, which again, I am completely okay with, because Damien Priest has been proving for the past few months that world title match on Raw, the main event or semi-main event that he had with Bad Bunny at Backlash in Puerto Rico, Damien Priest has proven that he can hang in the main event. And that briefcase pretty much guarantees him that he will be World Heavyweight Champion very, very soon. Again, but fans keep going back to the fact that L.A. Knight didn't walk out with the briefcase. And you know what? I'm completely okay with it. Is the man over? Yes. You know who else was over? Cody Rhodes. He didn't beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, which again, fans consider a mistake. You know who else was over? Sami Zayn. He didn't beat Roman Reigns for the Undisputed title at Elimination Chamber. It didn't happen, and he was over as hell. You know who was over? Drew McIntyre, who, by the way, did make his return at Money in the Bank to confront Intercontinental Champion Gunther after his title match. He was very much over, and we all thought that he was going to dethrone Reigns at Clash at the Castle last year. Did he go over? No. All these decisions that fans keep placing as mistakes. You know how I choose to see it? WWE has plans in place, and they choose not to abort or put those plans at risk by going with, quote-unquote, the 5 minutes of fame that these people have been getting. And again, the fact is, Drew McIntyre was over back then. He's still over now. The same thing with Zayn. The same thing with Cody. The same thing with LA Knight and the Usos. WWE is running on all cylinders, so why the hell were you threatened that? By changing plans, by shifting plans over the vocal minority, of the IWC. You don't. You don't. And again, much like Triple H said in the press conference after Money in the Bank, good things happen to those who wait. And in this day and age, wrestling fans in general, have this, give me what I want now. And that's just not possible. You can't please everybody, and you can't please everybody all the damn time. And the fact is, fans complain about these decisions because they know that WWE is predetermined and it is scripted. You know what I do to combat that? I have a sports mindset. Hell, a month and a half ago, my sports team, I'm a soccer fan by the way, Mexican club soccer fan, Chivas. My team was in the championship game. At halftime, they were up 2-0. I thought we had the championship won. Fast forward about an hour later, we lost 3-2. And yeah, I was pissed, but guess what? I accepted it, because sometimes these things happen. And unfortunately, with the wrestling fan base, film fan base, any entertainment base where you know there are people behind doors making decisions, people tend to complain. I mean, it is what it is. But again, Stone Cold Steve Austin, King of the Ring 1996, Royal Rumble winner 1997, Royal Rumble winner 1998. You know when he won the big one? About a year and a half later, after he won the King of the Ring at WrestleMania 14. Year and a half. The same thing with Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels won the Royal Rumble in 1995. He won the Royal Rumble in 1996. You know when he won the big one? WrestleMania 16, I believe it was. No, WrestleMania 12. WrestleMania 12. In that Iron Man match against Bret the Hitman Hart. Again, let things play out. Let's see how it goes. Let's see where it takes us. Because I can guarantee you, the moment we had last Saturday night at Money in the Bank, when Jey Uso pinned Roman Reigns, fantastic storytelling. It almost has come full circle for the bloodline, and that moment would not have been possible if Drew, Zayn, or Cody had pinned the Tribal Chief. So again, I just choose to wait and see and just accept what is given to me, try to make positive about it. And again, Damien Priest walking out with the briefcase is not a negative. It's not a negative. And do you really think that LA Knight winning the briefcase would have meant that he would have cashed in on Roman Reigns? No. I think that if that had happened, most likely than not, LA Knight would have cashed in on Austin Theory for the US title. Much like Theory couldn't cash in on Reigns. So again, all things considered, I think WWE keeps making great decisions. Most of you fans will not agree with it, and I'm okay with that. These are just my opinions. So with that said, what are your thoughts on the ladder match itself? Damien Priest walking with the briefcase, the moments, that crazy-ass spot between Logan Paul and Ricochet that they still went after, even though it wasn't set up. Pretty reckless, if you ask me. But again, that's just my opinion. Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions on the comment section below. Tune in later on tonight to Monday Night Raw for another episode. Tune in later on tonight to the USA Network for another episode of Monday Night Raw, where we will finally get a little bit more of Mr. Money in the Bank cashing in. He might not cash in. He's going to wait. That's always good. So with that said, leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.